when I first started playing
Yeah.
basketball and came back from overseas, I got approached by a coach and not a coach but an AD. And the AD asked me would I want to coach his team. And the first thing I asked, what happened to the basketball coach? Well, a parent didn't like how he was playing his kid, and they got into a fight. I was like, no, I'm good. Because yeah, I can't, because nowadays you got to deal with parents too. And I just remember my parents just yelled at me from the stands. They didn't, they didn't get with the coach. They yelling at me, bro.
Yeah.
And blaming me. I had a dad that if he sat in the corner and my mom was behind me, my mom said, hey, your dad's on one of them, you better play good. And showed up. I hit all the way up in the corner, take his ass out the game, coach. He ain't rebounding, he ain't scoring. Check him out. He ain't doing nothing. And I'm just looking like, hey, like, man, that's my own dad.
That's what Shaq dad did to him too. He was like, hey, he called his bodyguard and like tell him, hey, he need to get his ass out of he need to get his head out of his ass and start playing some fucking ball. What you doing out there? And then he changed the game.
When I looked at Shaq's story, I was like, man, what is my dad all up and down? And my dad wasn't even no military guy. You know what I'm saying?
So, man,
all right, man. So let's get it, man. I know we got this guy right here who we got in the building about to shake the game up is a legend. I mean, the name speaks for itself. George Byrd in here, the premier stopper, changed the game. Hey, I don't care who coming at me. You gonna get this. I'm gonna ball you up and then throw you away. Take the ball out the air. We going the other way. If you in my way, you better move out the way. I'm coming down the lane. Oh, come on, man. You know who we got in here.
Exactly.
It's Mr. George Byrd. Let's go ahead.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Shakes and Inches. Been watching a lot of the podcasts. I've been waiting for this moment to be on this with y'all too. Been seeing the new school and the old school. So
we got a lot to talk about. Inch, what's up? What's up?
Hey, man, I just want to say first of all, I want to say off my little church, sermon, my speech, my verses and everything. I want to start off with Jeremiah 29, 12, 13. Then you will call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you, and you will seek me and find me, and when you search for me with all your heart. So that's my speech for the day, for my sermon and my scripture for Jeremiah 29, 12, 13. But otherwise, that man, look, I'm proud to have you on the show with us, George Byrd. It's been a long time, man. 15, 20 years of us knowing each other and playing and everything. And then I'm just glad, that your son, playing for the Mob. One of the Byrds that got a championship for the Mob in SLAMBALL besides his dad getting the chippers for the Riders of SLAMBALL early 2000s. So I'm just proud of you, proud of your son, and waiting for your other son to show his true talent and everything, because he didn't have an opportunity to show his display of talent. So I can't wait for season 7 to see what both your sons going to do, man. So
yeah, and this is it's really dope because it's a kind of generational thing. This shows some legacy for SLAMBALL. How long SLAMBALL has been around, and a lot of people still might not understand what we're doing, or understand the SLAMBALL community and how big it is. But this shows it itself right here. Inches, you got your son right there. Byrd, you got 2 kids that's in the league now. You get what I'm saying? So that's huge for us as a culture, showing that we still around, we sticking in there. This is something that the youth wants to do also, and there's so much room to grow, and you get to see your kids do that. So that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, well, it was a real blessing. When I talked to Rob and he said he was coming back and he wanted me to do some things here in Florida, I said, well, my kids are of age. They're not teenagers or nothing like that. They're men. Let them come out. And here's the thing that I told them when they went out there. I said, don't mention you're a Byrd. Don't use my name. And then I think it was the second day I was at work and my phone was blowing up, and it was my oldest one, Dante, calling me. And then all of a sudden, I got every other number coming in, and it was all the old SLAMBALL guys that were out there calling me, wondering where I was at. And I told TA, and I think I told Noah, because that's the first two I talked to. I talked to Mason. This was a thing for my kids. I'm old now, very old. I'm 48. I'm not older than Inches, but I'm old. My body doesn't want to see a trampoline. Because that was the worst. I used to come back and tell people, I would rather train for regular basketball than to train for SLAMBALL, because you're using so many muscles. And that's the first thing I told my kids. I was like, hey, you're going to use muscles you ain't used before. But we always had a trampoline. And I said, just remember that feeling of just bouncing up and down after 30 minutes, you're tired. SLAMBALL takes a lot from you. And, it was proud to see my kids get drafted. Like I said, I went to the youngest one that got hurt, oldest won the championship. And like I said, I have to hear that every day I'm with him, that he went undefeated. I have to hear that. I have to hear that. And that's what it sticks in the hand. Then he has this, y'all can put that whole mob mentality in his head. And I'm not mad about the mob mentality, because I really like mob mentality than the mentality. So, but he has that mob, I'm part of this family now. It's like, yeah, you just don't know what I was probably do to you.
Yeah, that's what he don't understand. So this is dope. It's a good thing at the beginning that we get to do this, and this is the first time that we're doing this, and I'm glad that you get to be a part of this, George. But we brought in one of our young talents, other than your kids is there that already play, and they, one of them played a stopper position, one of them played a gunner/stopper position too. So I know they ask you a lot of questions, but I want to bring in in my opinion, one of the toughest guys that's out there playing stopper. He's they might say, oh, you undersized, but sometimes you take heart over size. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring in one of the players, Mr. Keenan Love from the Ozone, and he needs some advice from you. So this make some noise for Mr. Tarzan.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know
Pop.
Peter really well.
Big G is Pops. That's Pops to me.
There it is. What's up, King? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Blessed.
Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you. I see, I checked out some of your stuff, on social media, seeing you doing your thizzle and everything, you doing your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Besides, cleaning and, hitting the carpets and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I might need mine done in my house, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you got to pay that. He's going to send you an invoice.
I do it.
Okay.
Hey, tell him you want 50% deposit before you come out there, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, man. We got it. Look, business is business. Say the price is the price.
Okay. How you doing, man?
So Keenan, we brought you in because you might have some questions, maybe 2 or 3 questions or things, a bit of advice that you got an opportunity to ask Big Berg, because you guys play the same position. He can give you a lot of insight. So let's get into that. We'll give you like 2 or 3 questions or whatever, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Man, you say 2 or 3. I got so many questions. You tell me.
I know, but we only got a short time with Berg. We got a lot of stuff to get to.
Okay.
Right, you got this moment right now.
Exactly.
All right, so I gotta narrow this down a lot. I'm gonna use one personal question, and then 2 of them I'm gonna do for rest of the stoppers in the league.
Okay.
All right. So when I'm being attacked from the top tramp, so I got all 4 guys out of the tramp on the offensive side. Like, so the other team, they out the tramp, and the stopper is pressing me with the ball full speed. And what should be my first priority? Should I cut, time the stopper coming in, like at the same time? Or should I time the wing cut? If I get a wing cut coming from the side, should I, which one should be my first look?
Here's the first thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't scouted your team, then that question
or maybe against like a Gage Smith,
because depending on the team that you're playing,
a TC, Tamyrick Fields. Like those guys come down and they take off. They fly. Like they fly kind of like you fly.
You definitely want to be into the tramp when they're coming at you, because how many times they're gonna pass the ball off? And that's how I look at things. I look at all 4 players that I used to play against, and who's the biggest threat coming in. And that's what you have to learn, and that's what brings your slam ball IQ up as a stopper. I watched and nobody knew it, but I watched a lot of video. And I watched even more Series 3 when I played for the Hombres, because there were certain people that were getting to me and I wanted to know how to stop them. So I watched them. I watched how they approached every time. And I broke down a lot of film. So if somebody's coming at me with the ball that I know can't dunk on me one-on-one, I might flinch like I'm going into the tramp. Now they think, oh no, I don't want to go against him. It's time for the pass off. Now, depending who's coming on your wings, say inches or shakes, you pretty much you're through, because you got 2 primary players coming in that can both score on one tramp lobs. It's just, you definitely got to be in for that. And then for a stopper to come down, depending on which stopper it is, most stoppers are coming down to finish on. That's the 4 player. So you got to get in the tramp then. I don't know too many stoppers that pass the ball off while they're trying to attack, especially from the top tramp. So you like I said, it's more of reading, more of knowing who you're playing against. The more knowledge you know about the people you're playing against, the better you'll be, and the better your timing will be, the better your stopping will be. And that's point blank. There's no other way to sugarcoat that. You have to know the people you're going against. And if you don't know who the people you're going against, or the person that's coming at you is not an attacker, now you're jumping in, you done wasted a bounce jumping in at somebody who wasn't going to even attack you. And now you're looking at a one tramp lob over your head, or even a bounce down. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You have to know who you're playing against. And that's what I would tell anybody, even gunners or handlers. Know who you're playing against. Know who can't take a hit. Know who can't attack off of one tramp. They need 2 tramps or a bounce down, or they need the tramp transfer every time to get their height to dunk on.
I'll add to that. Byrd made a really good assessment on that, because what he's saying, when you got someone coming to attack you with the ball straight up, from top, and then you got the 2 guys on the wing. He's saying knowing your personnel, because you got to know what you're willing to give up, right? So if he flinched at the one with the ball because he know he can't take off, he already messed him up. So now his takeoff is stopped. He kind of stopped it in the middle, so he ain't even gonna get a good punch to the rim, right? Now he's gonna pick out of those 2 coming, which one is he gonna cut off? Which one I'm not letting score, right? He's gonna play that one. If the other one happens to make a good play, maybe I can get back and get it, and me just being there might be enough to throw him off. And if you make a good play, so be it. But you running with your odds. You get what I'm saying? You're going to take your odds on that. And Byrd was really good at doing that. Because like you said, he studied a bunch of film and he knew what he was willing to give up on plays like that. So that was really good information. Okay, next one, Keenan.
Okay, what was your biggest personal characteristic or quality? What was your best quality that brought you into slam ball and made you dominant how you were dominant?
Size.
Yeah.
You can't teach 6'8", 280. And I ran a 4. I ran a 4.7.
You bringing that speed into the tramp with the body.
Yeah.
That sound like Cat Williams right now.
Speed and power.
That sound like Cat Williams on the channel.
4.40 off the couch.
And I run a 4.340.
Yeah. It's the way I learned about slam ball was kind of crazy. It was because I was playing basketball and came home, and one of my friends told me to watch it. Yeah. And I said, hey, I think I can play it. I like contact. Okay. I'm an ex-football player too, so I got characteristics of a lot. But you can't teach. One thing everybody always say, you can't teach size.
I ain't got too much of that. I got to make up for mine on some other places.
Yeah, but like Shake said before, it's heart. It's big heart.
Yeah,
willing to give up your body. And that's what, and I'll go back to Inches stopper. I call him brother from another mother. Kevin Cassidy. He didn't care about his body. Like he used to tell me, man, I'm ugly. My nose already broke. Won't go back right. I don't care about y'all trying to dunk on me. I don't get hit on the rim or hit in the head rim. Kevin gave up his body, and Kevin was what 6'1", 6'2"?
He was 6'2".
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2".
He was bigger than that. I would just get. I had been maybe like 6'5", 6'6".
Oh no, Kevin Cassidy was 6'6".
No, Kevin was short. Yeah. But he didn't. He had big arms. He gave up his body.
All right. They gave me a little bit more motivation. Him and Faison, I'd be kind of.
Well, I'll put one more thing with you since I know you. Get off that vegan diet and get you some meat and potatoes and get just a little bit more weight.
Hey man, 9 years, no meat. Nah, but
yeah, man. I don't know too many vegans that will survive.
I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay.
I know you can. I know. I'm just messing with you because I know you're a vegan. That the first time I mentioned that, I was like, hey, let's go get some meat. Like that, I'm a vegan. I kind of paused, like, what? Y'all still around?
Yeah, man, we still running strong.
Wow, okay. Yeah. I
don't got none of that, man.
That I got.
You about 6% body fat over here.
6%.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah. You need to be at least at 15.
Nah, that's too much, Big G. I got one more question for you. What personal quality? All right, so you know me as a player. You seen me play. What advice could you give me personally to add to my game, to season my game a little bit?
Like I say, I don't know how much film you studied, but definitely study up on your film. Since you don't have the weight size as me, you have speed. You have more speed and quickness than me. I wish you would have came while I was there when I was teaching to stop or something. But you have to learn how to bounce back quicker if you miss something to where you can get it the second time. And that's a timing thing. Plus, I call it a neat thing. And when I show some of the guys that they were shocked that I could do that, because if you bring your knees up and punch back into the tramp, you're not getting a full tramp bounce up, but you're getting more than what you would have got if you just let your weight slowly come back down again. But you bring your knees up and punch back down again. And that's what I got better at and realized.
Taekwon Scott, he really good at that. He really good at bringing them knees up and re-punching back down and get a second bounce. Like when he come in, there's not too many times you catch him coming in and getting stuck in the bounce. Like he know how to bring them knees up, punch, get straight back up.
Yeah, and he was there when I was teaching him that. And he was like, man, that's amazing to know. Nobody's taught that. And I was like, well, I can't give everybody secrets. Each stopper has their own secrets, and that was my secret that I'm sharing with y'all now, and I share with them. I brought my knees up a lot of times and punched back down, and it's like another jump. But like I said, I'm also is 280, so it's different with me. But the more, like I say, get quicker and know more people, know your opponents. That's the biggest thing I will preach to anybody. Know who you're playing against. Your timing will become even more impeccable, and it's just your IQ for slam ball goes up since like even I'm gonna use my youngest son. Yeah. You see him coming at you, he long, but he can't really take off from the top tramp like that. You ain't finna jump in there like that. You're gonna wait and then watch him sit on the island trying to pass somebody, and now you
don't sleep on Byrd. I seen him when he was healthy, so hey. I seen when he first came in training. We grew free. Yeah. We only had a week to learn. We had a week to adjust. We didn't get that extra time like everybody else. So, we came in a little late. We had to get busy.
Straight facts.
Yeah, but the dad's always going to be hard on
That's dope. That's dope.
I appreciate you.
That's a lot of good information packed into a little bit of time right there. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to help you a lot because those are specific to what you need. Tarzan, and then for everybody else that's supporting and listening, especially if you play the stopper position. It's a lot of good information. Hopefully you guys can soak that up, and that's dope that it comes from one of the best in the league. So I appreciate you dropping on SLAMBALL, Tarzan. We're gonna get into some more stuff with George Byrd that we got to talk about, but we want to
love and appreciate y'all tremendously, man. I appreciate the opportunity. Hey, see y'all again. Say we out of here.
Yeah, Ozone.
Big O. All right, man. Love y'all. Be safe.
Yes, sir. Love you too, brother.
You too, boy. Have a good one, man.
All right, man. Much love, Q.
All right, bet. That was dope. So, all right, we want to get into it with you, George. And the first thing is touch on, because everybody, I know we're going to talk a lot about SLAMBALL. We want to make sure that people understand your professional background too. So let's start off with your basketball background. That's where it all starts from. So tell us a little bit about your overseas career or how you got into basketball.
Well, the thing is, I played basketball and baseball growing up. The leagues of Little League football, if I was to play now, I could play because it's unlimited weight. I never played football until my 8th grade year. So with basketball and baseball, hand-eye coordination, all that stuff, speed, got me to a point. But then football took me to a toughness point. And then in high school, I did football, basketball, and I heard y'all on the podcast with Ty. I did track, and I don't know what y'all got against us discus and shot put throwers, but hey, you need the points to win a track and field event. So don't. I used to turn. I used to do my little spins and everything, and throw my discus out about 120 feet. Hey, I had my shot put that I could at least launch about 35 feet. So hey, y'all get off us big guys. Us big guys had to do something. And listen, while you messing with us, the best part of that is we go in the morning in track and do our thing, and then the pretty track girls need us to hold their blocks. So hey, track was I love track. And matter of fact, I went to Virginia Commonwealth University because I got a basketball scholarship. I got tired of getting hit on my knees in football because I probably could have went to any college. I had offers from FSU, Florida. I mean, when I signed, and I forget his name, because I signed early for basketball at Virginia Commonwealth, I forget the guy's name that does the basketball for high school, but he put by my name, he doesn't understand this signing. This guy had his career made in football. But my thing was, I'm 6'8", 235, and I'm getting hit in my knees constantly. That's the only way you can tackle me. If not, I'm going to run you over. So I went to VCU, and then, like I said, I won my conference championship in 95, 96. But I didn't know I did track. I did shot put. I got back into the shot put just to lift weights more and everything, get a little bit upper body strength. But I scored points in our finals, in our conference finals, and I was just sitting up in the stands like, okay, yeah, we won. And then they was like, man, George, you scored points. You get a ring. I was like, what? They was like, yeah, you get a conference championship ring. So I got a conference championship ring in basketball and
dope.
track in college.
That's dope. That's dope.
But I played 14 years overseas. When I first came out, my thing, like I said, I'm a power player, back to the basket, alley-oops, dunk on you, set like Inches of point guard, somebody harassing Inches all up and down the court. Oh yeah. Start him to the right and bring him hard left. And the big man that didn't see me sneak off to set this pick, now his buddy on the floor mad at him because he didn't yell out screen because I set him up like that. But I was the inside player, and then overseas made me a little bit more versatile with the outside because they shoot overseas. When I tell you they shoot. My first practice, I was in Belgium because that was my first spot out. I'm ready to go a little bit 5-on-5, do a little bit of sprints. Dude told us to shoot 2,000 times. I was like, what? What we shooting 2,000 times for? And that's how I know, that's how I see the Europeans. That's why they got good shooters. They shoot so much. And that's what I did for 14 years, shoot and shoot and shoot, to the point where now I can step outside, hit a three. And, you know, I've won championships in Brazil. Iceland, I got to the finals in Iceland. But let me back up. So I played in Venezuela, Brazil, Iceland, Denmark. I was only in Russia for 2 weeks. That was a horrible time. Portugal, Belgium, Italy, Switzerland, France, and New Zealand. I think I got it all.
Damn. So I'm sorry, out of all those, because some of those are some beautiful countries, and when I say beautiful, I really mean beautiful. So what out of those? I heard Venezuela, I heard Switzerland, and not so much Russia. So no, not so much Russia. But out of those two, and Argentina, which one's the best one?
Yeah, Brazil.
No,
yeah,
I was in Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah. But listen, I'm going to blow y'all mind. I stayed 4 years in Brazil. No, 3 years in Brazil and 4 years in Iceland. Those are my two top countries. Brazil for the cuisine, the food, and I ain't gonna lie to women. The women are beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, they're beautiful. Iceland was more of a culture of, I think I was like any other person going to Iceland. Like I'm going to Ice Patch, and it was green. But when I tell you that these were some good, wholesome people, and I even had a guy that I call my son, who came back right before the season in Iceland. His name is Ingo. He came over here to visit me. That's how much friends we became. And we had a good time over here because it was different. But the Icelandic people were so caring and it was cool over there. You know, like when I went to the playoffs in Iceland was the first time that I came out of the game and it was still daylight. Then we go to a after party and it's still daylight. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? It's like, yeah, we got times where it's 24 hours of light. I was like, I don't see how y'all live like that right there. I said, this is blowing my mind. But those were my two countries if I had to choose. Venezuela, I like Venezuela, but when they tell you not to go out the hotel because the Venezuelan cartel is right across the street, it kind of scares you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to go out and do nothing.
Yeah,
you
that's a fact. I was over there
because there was some mafia type.
I was in Barquisimeto when I went there. I did Barquisimeto, I did Bolivar, and then we played the playoffs in Caracas.
Puerto La Cruz was where I was at with the Marinos.
Yeah,
and Caracas is the town that I was in.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a fact. It's a fact, man. They out there, you know, and it's a little scary. We had to walk to go get our lunch, right? So they had the little area where you go eat at every day. You can go there 2-3 times a day or whatever. But that walk after practice, man, it's starting getting dark and all that. Sometimes I just have to, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I'd have started many days. Listen, and the thing about Venezuela, they had a driver for me, so that made it kind of safe. But yeah, you know, I went to some parts in Brazil that might have. I didn't know I was living right next to, because I was in Rio my first year, and I didn't know I was that close to that city. There was a movie, City of God. I didn't know I was that close to the slums.
You was in that area. I don't know if anybody has ever seen City of Guys, and this is a little plug right here. If you haven't seen that movie, City of Guys, it's an amazing movie. It's like a low budget movie that tells this hood story about 2 or 3 different situations all happening in the same area. It's like some ghetto stuff that, you know, they had to they had to make it out of a bad situation, their living situations. And it tells this story about 3 different parts that all become connected, man. It's a dope story. And you were in that place where they're talking about?
I was 2 blocks away from it. Where I stayed at, and I never, like I said, I didn't never venture out like that, and I'm glad I didn't. I had a teammate from college that played at a different team, and I used to go to his house, but he always used to send a cab for me, and the cab would come take me, and boom, I never went that direction. And then when somebody said to me, like, hey, you weren't that far away from that. You know, it was like 2 blocks away from me. I was like, what? I was like, why didn't y'all tell me? You know, there's like, because most Americans know about that place. Like, even before the movie, they knew about that place. I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know what Rio de Janeiro was, because I was in Venezuela. My agent said, hey, do you want to keep playing? I said, yeah, we're going there. He said, Rio de Janeiro. I'm like, okay. I said, where's that? He said, Brazil. I was like, okay. And I called one of my buddies back here, because I was supposed to meet them to do something. I was like, hey, man, I'm not coming. I'm in Rio de Janeiro. And he just went ecstatic. Like, man, you know where you at? I was like, no, I'm here to play ball. He's like, man, that's like one of the beautiful beaches, all the girls. He's like, man, get out to the beach. Get out to the beach. Go Cocobongo, go out there, go out there, go out there.
Yeah.
And then I went out there, I understood what
Yeah, you know what you meant there.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. I called back like, man, I didn't know this was. He's like, man, you in a spot. You ain't got to worry about coming home. You can stay over there.
That's dope.
Janeiro.
That's awesome. But hey, that's you can tell, like, when I first met you, that you was a professional, you know, like just a sports professional and a like a journeyman with basketball. And I got that vibe from you at the beginning. I was like, man, I know this dude about to kill it. You know, that was my first time meeting you, series 2 when you first came in. And man, you absolutely killed it. So that's a good segue too with this. Just, you know, because I kind of want to know, how did your basketball, football, and track experience all translate into the way you play slam ball?
Well, at our tryout, and I don't know how true this is, we were the only tryout in Orlando that had a trampoline. So we were able to bounce on the trampoline and show that they wanted us to get up as high as we could. So I was easy with it. Like I said, I own the trampoline in my backyard. And I always loved trampolines. But then the next part of it was do like a little crossover dribble, and somebody was holding the bag. And you had to hit the bag and then go finish. Now, I don't know how true this is, but from what I heard, the person holding the bag for me was Mason. And Mason said that I came at him so hard, like I wanted to hit him and cause him pain, that I did something to his shoulder. Now, if I'd have known it was Mason, the creator of the game, I wouldn't have hit that bag that hard. Because I wanted to, but I guess since I did that, and, you know, that's one of the things that got me out there, because, like, it looked like I love contact. And I do. I've always been a down, dirty, you know, not dirty, but down and dirty in the post. You know, we're in the post. I'm a post player. And then playing football, I played tight end and defensive end. And then here's the funny thing nobody knows. Even though I got away from football in college, because my college didn't have a football team, probably by after the 5th year of me playing basketball, I was coming back here and playing semi-pro football. And I was playing defensive line. So I love contact. I've loved it in basketball. I've loved it in football. You know, I never shied away from contact. And plus, I had a father that used to always tell me about building my core and my legs so I can be physical. So when I seen, like I said, when I had came back from Brazil and seen in 2002 what y'all were doing, and I was like, wow, this is a crazy game, but I love it. You can hit people? You mean I can hit people and not get a foul called on me? Oh, man. And I went straight to the website to see when they was doing trials. And like I said, Orlando, boom, I was there. I wasn't working nothing because I was playing ball. And I was like, okay, if I do this right, I can still play ball, but I got to play this. And my best friend, who was my point guard in college, is the one who, in high school, is the one who told me about it. And I love the game. I was like, man, I ain't never seen nothing like this before. I got to play it. It was like, to me, it was built for a person like me who, one, likes to hit people. Two, it's a combination of football and basketball. And then you put the hockey in there and you kick the ball in there. I mean, it was perfect for me. And I was so happy to get to the point where I could get out to LA and, do things. And, I was worried when I first got it because y'all trampolines were different because they shoot you up higher. So, and, I was part of a injury, but I don't talk about that because in my mind, I have to blank it out. But it was so surreal to me once I got out there. Once I seen Inches, Shakes, people I've seen on TV. And it's like, hey, this is real. And I did what I could do. Now, I didn't go high like everybody. I was down the bottom. And I remember Coach Kerr saying he didn't know I was going to be what I was going to be. I guess everybody looked at me as like big. Rob was the biggest or tallest. And Rob was just a different. I don't think nobody, from the draft point, I'm saying, I didn't think nobody thought I would translate into what I became.
Nice. Yeah, no, you definitely made a huge impact from day one, So, hearing that, it seems like everything that you did led up. And this is a story for a lot of the guys that multi-sport athletes, when they finally find SLAMBALL, it's like SLAMBALL kind of finds them because it becomes a home for them because a lot of us love a lot of different aspects of different sports. So when we get here with SLAMBALL, we like, oh, I'm not limited to just basketball things. I'm not limited to just football things. It's so much I can do, and I can just be free now with all my athleticism, all my creativity, and I can bottle it up into this one sport. And you just end up like unleashing yourself in a different way that you never got to explore in a lot of different sports. So that's really dope that you get to, that you experienced that. And that was your first experience understanding how much you was ready for this, from the football, basketball, just contact to hooping. And, it definitely embodies you. And, like I see one of these dunks always when you stretch out and you're so big and long, but you're up so high in the air. It's like, that's amazing to see somebody that big and that powerful, that graceful. You never get to see that in basketball too much, someone that big become that graceful in the air like that. And, SLAMBALL allows that type of action.
Yes, it did. It most definitely did. I never think I'd get my hand up to the top of the backboard. But hey,
we got multiple pictures of that in video.
Yeah, exactly. So Byrd, so by you being, trying out with SLAMBALL and everything, you would never thought that you would have Xavier McDaniels as your head coach. What was your reaction knowing that the X-Man, the rough and tough of the NBA will be your head coach? What was your reaction?
Hold on. Before we touch on that, let's go straight to hey, did Rob have anything with your basketball career too?
Yeah, Rob. Well, once I met Rob, Rob became my agent. So before I didn't have Rob, I probably had about 2 or 3 agents that I don't even want to talk about. The best one I had was the one that was a Brazilian agent who kept me in Brazil. But after I met Rob and found out Rob was an agent, Rob is just the one who got me further in my career and kept my career going from 03 all the way until 10. So for 7 years, and I still consider Rob my agent. I tell people, if I see a young cat anywhere that's playing back, I try to send them to Rob if I know they got potential.
And people don't know that about Rob. Rob comes from the agency, the sports agency world, and he's brought that to SLAMBALL and continuing to bring that to SLAMBALL. Like he's leading the competitions department, but all the guys that came in, Rob recruited all of them. He goes out and talks to all the coaches. He talks to all the players. He does a really good job at recruiting, and we're pinpointing guys that we think would do good for SLAMBALL. And he's been so accurate, man. And outside of SLAMBALL with basketball too. So that's big shout out to Rob Wilson on that too.
Yeah, big shout out.
So how did you get introduced to SLAMBALL? How did
Say
you
that
get
again?
introduced to slam ball? Like who brung you in?
Yep. Like I say, my high school teammate that was a point guard is the one who called me over to his house, told me I need to watch this game. And I wish I could remember who was playing. It might have been the Rumble. It might have been the Rumble and the Mob playing. And just to see take flight, take off, then to see the hits, see Duke hit people, it was, and then go back and see the highlights of it. And I'm like, because the twins, the Jackson twins, I played college ball against them when they was at Virginia Tech. So when I got out there, they saw me. They know how physical I was, and the Dave was the one that's like, "Hey, you're gonna love this game." I was like, "I'm gonna see. I'm just trying to get on. Like, I was a rookie to a sport, and like I said, I was just happy to get where I'm at now. This platform now where I'm at now.
Yeah,
That's dope. I didn't know you played with the Jackson twins, and I didn't know you competed against them. They were some hoopers, huh?
Yep, Virginia Tech, Virginia Commonwealth. Yeah, I hated them because
they didn't have to come down there and see you. They was from far back, just hitting you.
No, they didn't come see me. They had a big dude about 6'10" named James Caruth, and he was probably about 280 himself. So yeah, I had my hands full with him.
Yeah. Wow. So Byrd, you talk about like how you approach the stopper position. I know you talk a lot about knowing the personnel and all that. Like, is there any other things that you would say of that's key to the way that you approach the stopper position that could help someone else out?
No, like I said, I'm gonna tell the stoppers to get their IQs up. You got to know who you're playing against. If you're just going into a game blindly, you're probably gonna get dunked on a lot. You have to know who you're playing against. But that's with any sport. You want to analyze the people that you're going against. And what you see the first time might not be the same the second time. So that means you might have to watch a game or two before you play them to see what they did this game that they're doing different this game. And that's just in a nutshell. You want to know your opponent. And then, like I was telling Tarzan, give your body up if you're going to play stopper. You can't have no fears. You're going to get dunked on. No matter how big you are. You're going to get dunked on. But you put your heart into just stopping, not fearing nobody. No fear is a great stopper. That means they're willing to put their body in between the ball and the rim and help the team get stops.
Yeah, I see that. Some of the stoppers try to play on the side. They had the rim right next to them and they're trying to swipe at it. But all the really good stoppers that I know of, when I'm attacking a really good stopper, I know I'm about to see the stopper head on. Like, that stopper is going to put his body right in front of the player and the rim. There's no around the side trying to swipe at you. Nah, you got to take that blow. And that's one of the things I always say about, when I had to compete against you, like, every time I hit that spring at the very beginning of the first quarter, I'm probably getting swallowed up unless I came ready to play. You get what I'm saying? It takes a quarter of you getting pounded on for a second. Then you like, man, he ain't gonna keep just getting me like this, man. You get what I'm saying? And then you finally get the courage, like, because I'm not the biggest, but I gotta find a way to get something out this deal because I'm gonna always see him. He's not gonna be on the right or the left side of me. He's gonna be right in the middle of me, and you gotta find a way to move that ball around and make something happen. So, yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, hey, we had a double team against you anyway, Shake. Shoot. I always wonder how you got through the double team.
How we still here?
Stop getting in there. I worry about Mike and Snoop. Stop him from getting in. So, it's like I say, that's a game plan. That was our game plan. Double team him. I would take damage against Mike Goldman and Snoop any day. Double team. That's who we need. That's the score. Double team him. And see, the thing about the Mob, hey, they multiple people, so you can't double team. You got to play straight up. That's the differences of people. And with the Rumble, you can't double team Jelani because now you're leaving Take Flight and Dion over here. So you got to play everybody straight up. But I would take my chances with Take Flight than Jelani. But I learned Jelani Series 3, and we had a conversation about that in the semifinal. We'll get to that because we had a conversation and he just wanted to know how. And I said I watched lots of film on you. I learned every way you can, just so you won't finish the way you've been finishing on me. I mainly tried to stop him, and that's what I did, but we still lost. So that's here, neither here nor there.
Wow, that's dope. That's crazy. So yeah, Byrd. So let's get into this, man. When we used to have our little rivals, you know, saying the Mob and Riders, man, you know. But, you know, before we go into that, man, like, you know, I want to get back to my question for us with you. How was your relationship with the X-Man? You know, I know when you got into SLAMBALL and then found out like, oh, what, Xavier McDaniels gonna be my coach? Oh my God, wait a minute, hold on, this is a whole new ball game. What was your reaction, man?
Here's the thing y'all don't know. I knew X-Man. My backup center in college was from Columbia, South Carolina, and him and X was like this. So when I went down to visit, I went to X's house. X knew me. So for him to get me, because we actually played a 5-on-5 game on 4th of July when I went down there with him, and I didn't know him and my backup center hated each other. So when I said that was the most physical game I've been in, with them playing each other and then them throwing bowls at each other and X throwing bowls, and X bowl being my stomach, and I just looked at him like, oh, we're going to play that game. So he knew how tough I was, and he knew how much I loved the battle. So for him to be my coach, it was like picture perfect to me because I knew he liked to talk mess. He liked to be rough. Hey, that sounds like a good coach any day for me.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you guys knew each other beforehand. But it makes sense though, because it seemed like it felt like you guys were connected in some type of way. That's what type of connection y'all had on you know, during the game time, and you know how much you guys trusted each other, and y'all had similar mentality about the way y'all approach SLAMBALL. So yeah, that's dope to know. That's dope.
Yeah, I give it to him. I guess that's why he got on to me one game and was really cussing me out, and I was just looking at him like, man, I can't do nothing but take it. You know, he telling the truth. I wasn't doing nothing. And that ain't the words he used, but I understood what he was saying. So, and that his connection, like I said, me and his connection was always already a previous connection. So we understood each other. We talked, and you know, I actually went and hung with him a lot to talk about stuff. Like I said, I would go talk to him real quick, or if I wasn't talking to him, I was talking to Champ, or if I wasn't talking to Champ, I was talking to B because they played. You know. So I always fed on anybody that could give me constructive criticism. And X is going to give you raw constructive criticism. And he told me, especially after a couple of mob games, Rumble game, it was on me. That 30 minutes I wish I could take away from my memory when he cussed me out on them 2 games. And that was just a one-on-one cussing out.
It was all you.
I understood it, though. Yeah. I wanted to win. You know, he wanted to win. So to lose, you know, that's something that he didn't like to do, and I didn't like to do either. And I held my head down many times my first season, but my head was up at the end of the season.
Wow, that's dope. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to, you know, get this off my chest because when, you know, you guys came in the lead and everything, and then, you know, we was trying to form a family with the SLAMBALL, you know, saying with the SLAMBALL league and everything. And then, you know, off the court, you know, I just love all you guys, especially when we was in Florida, we was in Bradenton, you know, and we all, you know, when we was all in IMG, I think, you know, to me, that was the best time I had with all you guys, because not only that, you know, we started to get to know each other. We just gained a friendship, family friendship, and things that we did, and the time that we had with each other, man. That's to the heart, man.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. Listen, now even from series 2, listen, it was always family because think about it. Even though we probably tore each other up on the court, we always did something afterwards. Even I remember the apartments they had us staying in. And we were grilling fish out at the pool. We were all together. And then, like you said, when we went to Brayton, we knew that outside we're friends and family. On the court, it's a different thing. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, if anything, I don't remember too much going outside off the court, but I always had fun. I always loved being around everybody.
Yeah,
y'all know we had
it was always like a brotherhood, and that's what we was preaching to the new guys when they came in. Yeah. Just keeping that culture alive. Like, we out there, we all doing this together. We all pioneers. We all are partners now. You get what I'm saying? So everything that we do is going to be competitive. We want to win, but we get out here, we're going to make sure that we're putting ourselves in the right position where we're not making a play that's just something crazy just because you have something that you want to get off your chest or whatever, right? But that play ain't worth someone getting seriously, injured, or you clipping somebody 15 feet in the air. That play ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we keep a clean slam ball, is by that type of brotherhood and that culture. So yeah, that's something that we definitely got to keep going in, and hopefully you're going to come back for Series 7, and we can definitely all work together to make sure we inserting that to everybody. We always got to go around and check their level of their commitment to slam ball. You get what I'm saying? Of making this thing happen, and then their commitment to their brothers and making sure everybody's going to do well. I want to beat you. I want to beat you.
That's what I told my kids. It's a bigger thing. It's a bigger thing for y'all. Y'all got a bigger platform. Your opportunity is there. Y'all have to take it there. But like you said, also keep that camaraderie amongst each other. Have that competition on the court, but outside, have that camaraderie. Don't be like, yeah, he hit me. I don't like him no more. What? You play slam ball, you're gonna get hit. If you don't shut up, that's what me as a coach, I would probably be a baby X fan. And I'm not taking nothing away from no coach, but my coaching is different. I'm one of the people like, why you didn't bust him in the mouth? Well, coach, that's my friend on the outside. No, this ain't your friend right now. If you don't hit him in the mouth right now, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't saying hit him in the mouth, but go get him. God dang it, just score 2-3 baskets on, and now you talking about this, buddy. Man, if you don't stop this joker, that's the type of coach I would be. But I'm gonna love them at the end. I'm gonna love all my players at the end. It's intensity, and that's the thing. Playing ball overseas, I had to coach all the juvenile teams. I got probably about 25 juveniles now from different countries that email me and say they still miss me, just because what I instilled them took away. Because most coaches that come from the States, most players that come from the States, don't take the coaching seriously, and I took it seriously. I tell anybody, the reason why I won't coach over here is because with kids is because over there, I take a piece of gum, throw it on the ground, tell them to dribble it. They're going to dribble it because they think they're listening on every word. I tell American kid that, they be like, man, that's a piece of gum. Man, I ain't dribbling that. You know what I'm saying? There you go right there. You done stop that whole communication teaching thing right there. And my intensity overseas would have been in slam ball too, coaching. I'm going to be an intense coach. And like I told my kids, I said, yeah, I'll be on y'all, boy. Y'all just don't know. Y'all be mad at me. By the time slam ball hit it, I wouldn't even be y'all dad no more. Y'all be like, man, Coach Byrd.
Yeah, that's how it got to be. You got to cut it all. You got to cut that off, man, and especially when you're coaching. But that's a good segue because both of your coaches that you had in slam ball were NBA players, right? So you had Xavier McDaniels, and then you went to the Hombres, and then you had Kenny Anderson. So talk about the different dynamics between coaching between those two.
Kenny let me tell you about Kenny. Kenny in X, yeah, you're right, night and day. Kenny had that smooth teaching philosophy. And I'll say the assistant coach, Coach Moreno, his partner, was probably the more intense one. But Kenny was always smooth and laid back with it. And, you know, he'll get on you, but it wasn't an X-Man getting on you. You know, Kenny get on me and I'll be like, you feel like you need to go take a time out. You know, you need to go in the corner and sit down. You know, X get on you, you feel like he done punched you about 7 or 8 times. The Kenny smoothness made you humiliated at what you did. And I'm just like, dang, my bad coach. You know, you'd be like, my bad coach, I'm going to do better. You know, but Kenny's philosophy was still, he wanted to teach it. He was learning the game too, and he was also a sponge. So, and he started talking to other coaches and getting more, and that's what made him a good coach at SLAMBALL, because he was a sponge, and he absorbed everything that he got from players and coaches, and watching others. Because I told him, I said, you want to learn? Watch the teams. Just watch. And his Coach Moreno was the one behind him really watching everything and relaying it to him. So he had a good assistant coach to help him out too. So, and because you got to think, X didn't have an assistant coach. But Kenny had an assistant coach. There was more, and he had somebody in his ear letting him know what's this and what's wrong and what needs to be done. Kenny's biggest thing that he did tell me was something.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know when to sub. And I said I understand that, because I used to be looking at him like, hey, I'm tired, but you know, I know we're down and you want to keep me in, but let me
and then SLAMBALL is such a short game too. So and the swing could be 12 points, 8 points. You get what I'm saying? So you bring a George Byrd out for 1 minute, and there's 15 points. The lead is gone quick. So he like, I know you're tired, but it's only 15 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, so hey, you know, so in that part right there, so you know, by having a difference, you know, between Kenny Anderson and Xavier McDaniels. Now I know Xavier, you know, back to Xavier McDaniels and you know, with the Riders. Now I heard there was a situation with you and Jamal Barnes. But,
no, this is when you played. You was on the Hombres.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You were on the Hombres. Jamal Barnes Sr, right? Because we got Jamal Barnes Jr. is playing now. He's playing for the Buzzsaw under Coach Hernando. But you was with his pops, right? And this is a story about you guys that involved someone that you put a hit on in the game. And this person ended up being your teammate, the one that you put a hit on. And it's between you and Jamal Barnes Sr. So can you give us like what actually there's a clip that SLAMBALL plays all the time that kind of combines what SLAMBALL is. There's a big hit, then there's a boom roll to the side spring bed. There's a nice assist, come down and a reverse dunk, and we always play that. But this clip happened to be a part of the story between you guys too. So kind of give us a rundown on what happened.
Shakes, he looking kind of Shakes.
For one,
he looking kind of confused, Shakes.
Hey, he looked like he know. He said, "Oh, you want to put the drama out there? Okay, we want to hear it."
Go ahead, Cat Williams.
Wait, before I get into that story, y'all text me. Y'all ain't gotta say it on camera. Y'all text me the snitch that leaked that story so I can deal with it properly. Now, I'll tell you the story. And let me tell you whose fault it is. The fault lies in Stan Shakes Fletcher. So, John Thomas on the Hombres wanted to be Stan when he didn't need to be Stan. And I kept telling him about the 3-tramp transfer for dunks. I said, stop it. You're not making it all the time. You're not Shakes. Every time you make it, he'll be like, see. I said, okay. Hey, we're playing a team called the Bouncers. They got guy on the team that's an MMA fighter. Hits pretty hard. Me and him to have a talk.
And look,
That's
before you
Jamal
keep
Barnes
going,
Sr.
just to have your back,
Man.
because I know what you're talking about with that. Like freestyle was just, we was just starting to get to a freestyle, right? And then, but I know for John Thomas, he probably he liked that style a lot. So he was out there, hardly no practice, but he just throwing it. And I know y'all back there like, man, we trying to win the game. And this dude is throwing it. Sometimes he catches, sometimes it goes somewhere else. Sometimes somebody wide open, he still catching and throwing it. Somebody wide open, they're like, give me the ball. And he just throwing it. So I get where you coming from with that. You got a little frustrated.
Yeah. So we're playing the bouncers, and me and Jamal chopped it up. Long story short, Jamal, I need you to lay out John in a legal way, but lay him out.
Wait. So
and
that for people don't know,
payment.
Jamal Barnes is on the bouncers now. You're on the hombres. You and John Thomas are on the hombres. John Thomas is doing all the freestyle, right? You don't like it's just not working for the team. It's not nothing personal. But hey, this ain't working and he not listening. So you approach Jamal Barnes Jr. before the game on the opposite team, senior. And then you approach him about, hey, I need a hit.
But I need a big hit, a legal big hit on John. He said he got me, and I said, and you can come in on me any way you want. And he chose to do a two-hand behind the back. And if you look at me, I don't jump like I normally do. I fake jumped in and jumped back out left.
I watched that clip. And you jumped straight out the way. And I always wondered, like, why he didn't do that? Because he didn't look. Barnes didn't look. He wasn't committed. He hit the reverse, but if you would have killed his bounce, you could have easily killed his bounce.
Yeah, I could have easily killed his bounce. But he did what he needed to do. And if y'all look back after that game and our games after that, John stopped doing the moves that much. And it's just, I'm sorry, you a vet is talking to a rookie. That's like me disrespecting Champ when I was a rookie, saying, "No, man, I'm not gonna put my foot on the mat. I ain't doing that." I'm not listening to a proven person in the game. And that's how John was. And I love him to death, don't got nothing against him. It was just at this moment I needed him to stop that. And we were playing the right team with a big hitter. I wish I could have caught LaMonica with him. But no telling what would have happened. I don't know, LaMonica probably would have ate that up too. But we were playing bouncers and I needed it to stop.
All right, big shout out to Jamal Barnes for taking that hit, man. Hey, more of the story. Sometimes, man, somebody might not be listening on your team. You got to make a way out of no way and get your team on straight by any means necessary. And that's what it means.
Did a straight pump.
No discredit to it.
Hey, put it this way. We went to the city line.
Yes, it did.
So it did.
It got your team back on track. Hey, like I said, by any means necessary. No discredit to John Thomas either, man. If you watching, bro, you still did good. You was a beast out there too, right?
I still love you, John.
Man, but sometimes, man, it's the team first, mentality.
Now you know why you got hit that hard. Because I can't hit my own teammate. If I could have hit my own teammate, I would have did it. But I can't hit my own teammate. That would have been never heard of SLAMBALL. Hitting your own teammate. So.
That's bananas, boy.
All right, so we talking about hits now. And we got two guys that are involved right here, right in front of each other. And I know Inches, man, he takes real pride in his hits that he got, that he collected. And what I want to ask is Inches one of the only ones that got a hit on you, Berg? Because I've seen a play where Inches lined it up.
All right, all right.
Let me tell y'all about that.
Yeah, before look.
Wait, go ahead.
This what it was. See, I was getting heckled by my coach because he was like, "Inches, you need to lay a hit on Byrd." He can't just keep coming in like that. I said, I got this, coach. I got this, coach. So after when you dunked it and we went to a timeout, I didn't know that you got subbed out and football was in. So I was like, okay, I'm about to get George Byrd this time. I'm about to get him. And I didn't know that you was football. I thought you was you. So I said, okay, I'm about to get George Byrd. So soon as Calvin threw it to the football, I thought it was you. So I said, I'm about to get him. And I looked and realized, oh shit, that's not George Byrd. I said, forget it. I'm about to lay him out anyway. But my thing was, I was going to get you by some way because I was not going to get heckled or chewed out by coach. So when that time came and I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to let George Byrd run me over. I'm not going to let him just kill me like this, like he's killing everybody else. So I'm going to get him on the soft side. That last second, I said, yeah. Now, when I saw you run, I was like, oh, George Byrd, he ain't running fast. Oh, I think I got this. Because a couple times when you was coming full speed, I was close to you. But I said, no, I can't hit him this fast because I might get ricocheted back that way. So I said, I'm going to test this one. Because at one time, I was close to you, but I said, no, because I felt your wind coming. When your wind was coming, I was like, oh, no, because I'm going to get messed up. I'm going to get fucked up on this one. Okay, I'm going to let this slide. Coach was like, if you don't hit his ass, you're not going to play the next game. All right, okay, it's going to hit. That time came. Yeah, George Byrd, I had to get you on that one, man. Hey, I didn't know that you was going to fall like that, man.
Well, here's the replay of that in what we were down to y'all, and it was a few seconds left, and I think it was about 15 to 20 seconds left, and the play was south. That's what the play was called. So as I ran down and I seen you come to hit me, I jumped, and of course, me in the air now I'm weightless. Yeah, you knocked me down. Made it look like you was a pro football player the way you is. But as I'm on the ground, I'm like, so I'm not gonna get no face off. I was jumping into the trap. I'm not gonna get a face off.
No, that was a total mismatch in size. So they probably just didn't give it to you just because of the size difference.
Yeah. But the way he hit football,
it was way worse.
was worse. And they gave it to him. So I guess I need to, because the way he hit football, the whole court went up and down. And if y'all don't know what we talking about, that's Anthony Almaduli. He went up, the court shook when he hit him. Because he got a good hit on him. My hit was kind of flailed and everything, and I'm like, dang. And I'm looking like, so ain't nobody blow this whistle, huh? Okay. So we done lost that game now because instead of me, if I'd had to do over, I would have been barreling down to hit you. I wasn't barreling down to hit you. I was barreling down to get a face off, which stops the clock. Oh. And I didn't get it. So I messed up. And Inches got the hit on the big man. He can forever brag about it. But if y'all remember in that game too, Inches did something to me, and it was off camera. And I gave Inches one of the picks I was talking about. I caught that little joker like I wanted.
Is that the one where he was running down the baseline?
No, it wasn't the baseline. He was guarding somebody. Yeah. And I was lurking, and they say, and they did rewind it. That's the one where they say, look at Berg lurking.
Look, you know what I'm saying? I would say, kind of, that was a cheap shot, man. No.
Did they call it?
My hit with you was face to face. We face to face. I'm like this. What was it? Champ. I was like this one, champ. As soon as I turned this way, George Byrd, he hit me this way. He hit me this way. I'm like,
hey, that's a legal hit.
Hey, the side is legal in slam ball.
That's a legal hit.
It's in the back.
It was legal hit. Remember that I said I was set for you if you was playing my workout? That's all you got.
But George, he was like, He was like, "Oh yeah, come on, Inches, come on, Inches. As soon as you turn around, I'm about to lay it on you. Lay it on you."
Yeah, cause hey, I did bend down about 6 foot because I like you helping light your little ass up. You've been ducking on me all game, and see, that's another thing. One thing I love about old school slam ball, and this is what I taught. I don't know how true it is, but I was taught from your shoulder to your fingertip was the ball. Do you know how much that opens up to hitting people? And I remember hitting Inches, and he came down. He flat hit him in his nose. I didn't hit him in his nose. I attacked that shoulder, and to get hit on your shoulder, a lot of times, you gonna go down to the training room and be like, God dang it. They be like, "Wrong, man. You know I played against Big Bird, and he loved attacking your shoulder." And that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna attack that shoulder until it gets sore. But his didn't get sore because he could dunk with both hands for one, because he kept coming at me. And then they were perfect at the one trap lobs that I hated.
The mob was sending them one trap lobs.
Yeah, man. The one trap lob. That's up.
Yeah, if there's any team that I hated, it was the mob for one trap lob. So it's it's all love, like I said. But I heard Inches on one of the safety games talking about, I hit 2 big suckers. I was like, wait a minute, I ain't no sucker now. Hey, I see Inches about this right here. I said, you gotta hit on guys like, okay.
Let me narrow that down, because when the whole thing was, I said I got sucker hit from Champ. So I said, since I got sucker hit, I hit 2 suckers. So not saying that you a sucker or football's a sucker, but it just kind of rhymed. It was
not saying you a sucker, but you just a sucker. You know what I'm saying?
But it kind of fit the scenario of the sentence.
After hearing that, I was living in hot, and my kids was like, "Dad, don't go on the podcast. That crazy and attacking this." I was like, "No, man, someone's called me a sucker. I'm looking. He got to see me. I'm going to the next on me right in the go. Like, who you calling a sucker now?"
No, man. No, that's dope. Hey, so look, that's but Anthony Adamalui, that was the biggest hit out of those two. He went flying. We all saw it happen. He basically turned into a frisbee for a second. Did a couple 360s, hit the ground, dribbled off the ground a couple times. But the way he got up and just headed back to the half court, that's always tripped me out in the videos. But Byrd, let's talk about your most iconic play, that I ever seen in the slam ball arena. It's you coming down that right side. And like you said, I guess the play was called South, right? And you coming down on the South, and for some reason, 185-pound John, what's his name? John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams for the Rumble. Woo!
Yeah, he wanted to step in front of you and challenge this time, and I remember seeing this play from the sideline. We wasn't playing yet, and I'm looking at it, and I saw this thing happen, and when I saw it, I felt bad for him. Like I felt bad for him. Like, oh, this happened on national. Oh my God! Did he continue playing after that? I don't even remember him no more after that play. Did he play something? Like did he? Did he get cut after that?
I think he got cut.
Yeah, the story is he got cut right after that play. I think they took him out and he went home after he got his shoe and his hat. So let's talk. Give us a play-by-play of this. Of what happened.
So the Rumble, I hated the Rumble. I hated the Rumble because of their. Let me take hate back. I disliked the Rumble because of the way they came into the games. The arrogance they had, and we were down. And he called that play. In my mind, I didn't care if it was Jelani. I didn't care if it was Take Flight. I didn't care if it was Dion. Even if they brought Lockjaw up and played Gunner to try to stop that, I didn't care. I said whoever was in my way, I was running over. And it just so happened to be John Williams. And here's another thing that could have been made it worse. Remember, when I hit him, I put my full force into him because it knocked off his helmet and his shoe and knocked him back into the tramp. I took off from that same tramp with a person in it, which should have been a face-off because there's somebody in the tramp when I'm taking off. And I still finished, but think about how many people could have took off with a person in the tramp like that.
There's not
I don't know too many people.
Not none.
That's a fact. And I never even thought about it like that. That definitely should have been a face-off because he entered the spring bed with you, bro. So he actually got away with one. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been,
that would have been a 6-point play.
And get the ball back. And get the ball back.
And the ball back.
Yeah.
And then do it again.
Wow.
Well, you know, I got a lot of people who ask me, have I talked to John? And I think I spoke to him probably a couple of years afterwards. And I was like, man, it wasn't nothing against you. You just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he's like, no. He's like, but it's the most embarrassing thing because it's like all his boys mess with him about that. Talking about, man, have you found your shoe? Have you found your hat? You got off that. Hey, he got off that, and he got off the trampoline because my boys were like, man, he got off the trampoline so fast and took his shoe and hat because he knew he had to lose it.
They never seen
him again. Went to the sideline, you never seen him again. Hey, I said, yeah, but we still got blown out by 30 points. That happened to you. It don't matter. But that was the like I say, the most to me the most roast shit. But it is what it is. That was like you say. That's 180 going against 280, and the 280 is coming full steam. I don't see too many 180s that's gonna. I don't care if he was a professional football player, safety. Oh, here we go. I knew you were gonna raise your hand. I remember my shoulder wasn't down with you.
But I know.
See, we gotta go. We gotta go to the time.
Y'all gonna have to line it up, Series 7, man, and gonna get y'all get back so y'all can even the score on that one, man. Yeah.
No, yeah. But I will always say I even the score inches because we knocked them out of the playoffs.
Checkmate.
I'll give you that checkmate.
Yeah, man. But yeah, big shout out to John Williams. You always gonna be part of a highlight, man. You're just on the wrong end. I know it's hard to say anything. You probably can't go home and say nothing to your friends like, man, you're supposed to be on time today. It's like, did you say that to George Byrd when you got in front of him? Like, you can't say nothing about it, girl and shit. Man, I had 2 sandwiches in the refrigerator. Did you say that to George Byrd when he was coming down?
Yeah.
No more, man. God, man. Well, hey, we want to know where you at, John Williams. If you're listening, man, please chime in. Let us know that you're all good, bro. Let's run into Series 7 predictions from you. I know you watched some of the new Slam Ball, so let's get your take on your predictions from what you saw. Now you know the returning guys is going to be coming, and we're going to sprinkle in some of the new talent. But give us our predictions from we got Mob, Slashers, Buzzsaw, Lava, Raz, Ozone, Rumble. Kind of put them in order and tell us how you think they're going to finish in the final standings.
I'm gonna have to do a little cheating here because I had already had it. Because everything depends on health, if you ask me. You get the right things like Mob. I think they only had 1 or 2 injuries, but they were full strength the whole time. Other teams went down. Ozone, of course. Even Raph and all that. Everybody had, but.
Yeah, and those injuries, like when the guys got held out on those, people got a misconception about Slam Ball, about how dangerous it is, but really it's just some high ankle sprains or something like that might keep you out. And we do a really good job with our training staff that manages these people. Like they might be ready to go and they might be ready to get out there, but the training staff is holding them back to make sure that they're fully there and did all their therapy. So guys get held out longer than you think they would be for ankle sprain or something like that.
But if I had to do, like I said, I'm starting from the bottom. Coach Carter might kill me, but I'm keeping Rubble down at the bottom. Coming in next is Lava. My youngest son will kill me by saying ozone.
So wait, you got
Wrath, Slashers, and Buzzsaw.
The last at number 8. Then you got Lava at number 7.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's jump to Y on that one. Let's jump to Y.
Because of health, this is everybody healthy. That's why. And I watched them. They were up and down, but as far as like coming in this new season, this is why I couldn't pick with the Slashers, Slashers, Wrath, and Buzzsaw, because to me those teams are equal. Any given game, they can beat each other. And of course, I'm putting Mob at number 1 because they were undefeated. They have the best stopper in the league. They have the most experienced coaching. I ain't nothing against y'all. But Kirsch's been there since he was. Yeah, Kirsch's been there since he was 15. Coaching SLAMBALL. Yeah, 15. I know y'all said he was 23 when I met him. Kirsch looked every bit of 15. So, sorry, Coach Kirsch.
Coaches leaving middle school coming to Coach SLAMBALL.
You know what I mean?
Well, no. Oh, y'all ain't even got the Griffins down here. I don't know where I would put the Griffins, but it's a jumble from top to last. And like I say, ain't nothing against Coach Carter, but in my mind, Coach Carter had a lot of shooters, not a lot of finishers. And if you're hot, you're hot, and you're cold, you're cold. And he was cold most of the time I seen him. Nothing against the guys. This is me watching it and enjoying it. I enjoyed everything. Me, a little more personally, I wish it a little bit more hidden, but that's just me being physical. I want to see somebody get laid out. I want to see what's the boy, Tony Time. I want to see Tony Time knock out Smith. You know what I'm saying? I want to see big hits like that. Big guys versus little guys, because that brings excitement. Like I say, Stan, Inches, one of your biggest hits is on a big guy, made him fly. And that's memorable. You know what I'm saying? You want to make memorable moments, but I don't see nobody beating them all unless they get hit with the injury bug. Tell Rod I'm still on the podcast. I'm just waiting. It's all about, and you'll never know who's coming in new. There might be Kevin Cassidy, or George Byrd, or Adam Hooker, or Corey Beagle, or Scotty coming into the new bunch. You see what I'm saying? You never know, and that's the good thing about having new blood. And then again, you might have some old blood that might shine, that were injured before, but now they're at full strength and potential. And now you're seeing what they really can do. Because remember, if y'all remember right, Corey Beasley was my roommate Series 2 and got hurt, never played for the Slashers. Series 3, he was a beast on the court. Absolutely. Corey Beasley was. And you wonder what would happen if the Slashers would have had him my first year, my Series 2, which he probably would have dominated. So when you bring in new crops of guys, there's always that thing. Then your old crop of guys might, like, you got guys working out now. You got guys understanding that, hey, I got to be better at this. They're learning from y'all. They're learning from me. They're learning from other people. They're finding out what they can do, and now they don't have that fear. Because, that first year, I had fear, but I got over that fear. So when I came back my next time in Series 3, I didn't have no fear. And that's what a lot of guys that's old might come in with no fear, and they know what they got to do. So that's why I'm still putting Mob up there. And I hate to put Mob up there because it makes my oldest son have a bigger head because he thinks he's going to get 2 championships. But I'm hoping that my youngest son puts an end to that, or any anybody puts into that, because one thing I don't like is somebody being undefeated and getting. I don't want them to get that Rumble mentality. That Rumble mentality they had when I first came in there.
Yeah.
You know,
all their heads was this big.
It aggravates you.
Especially with Wop. If you listening with, I know with every single second he could say something. Yeah, I'm number one gunner. I'm number one gunner.
First season, first championship.
You can't give them you can't give them an edge. They gonna take a mile for sure.
Yeah. Say that again. I had a plane come through.
So we got. What do you see the differences between the old school slam ball and new school slam ball? What are the biggest differences?
Y'all know what I'm gonna say. It's something I say about sports all across the board. The older generation, we had more physicality. You know, besides Inches and Shakes with creativity, Mason with the creativity. You know, y'all were in a bracket by yourself. Even Champ with his creativity of, I heard y'all talking about him throwing that little layup behind the backboard. You know, so it's the creativity. Now with this game, they've seen the creativity that they have, so everything is a little bit more. Trying to think of a great word for it. Everything is more exquisite. I mean, there's not that many hits as it used to be, but the finishes and the tramp and what they're doing on the tramps now, you know, the 360s and the between the legs, and it's more exciting with what they're doing with it. You know, me personally, I would go with hitting. I like hitting, but they have the game to a point to where it's more aerobatic than what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're more creative than what we are, because they got y'all as teachers. They got Pat as a teacher. You know, they know how to get up higher. They're doing more double tramp things, triple tramp things, and they're getting higher when they do it. So the creativity is off the charts now. Could I play it? Yeah. Would somebody get? Yeah. Do I want to play it? No. I'm in the back. I'm watching my kids. Even when to get on the court, somebody's like, "You want?" No, I'm good. I'm good. My body said, "Hey." Even when I was teaching the guys, I didn't jump on the tramp. I stood in the tramp to show them what my weight could do to a tramp. And I told the guys that were there, try to go in double tramp bounce and see if you can get up. And they could not get up with me just standing in the tramp. And I said, imagine me, y'all, we meeting at the same time. They used to call it the Berg Vortex. I'm going to suck you in. Now, I think Shakes, you were the only one I see who I popcorned up. Because you got up so super high because you hit it at the right time.
That's the thing,
as an advantage. How long it takes to learn.
We looked at the same thing.
So if I already got it in my system, then you're not gonna be able to. But these guys, they're phenomenal. I just know that they wouldn't be able to take no hit from it.
That's what's up. Yeah, shout out to the new school, man. You guys doing your thing, and you
shout out to
Berg, you one of the few right now of the vet guys that spoke really highly of them. I know a lot of the vet guys, you know, they can't get over our period of time when we played. So a lot of the conversation be like, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they didn't do this. We was, and you know, in my mind, I'm like, man, look at Series 1 versus Series 6, because that's their first time playing, and look at our first time playing. Total opposites, man. So, and you know how much we improved by Series 2 and Series 3, and then they're coming into Series 7 after what they just did. They about to take this game to the next level, and that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and I don't care what nobody else feel. These guys is the wave, and they about to do it, man. So shout out to the new school, man.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm right there with you, and I got a backpack on, right on that roller coaster ride with them. I will watch them all day long.
We about to get into the face off now. We about to get into the face off
here.
We got some questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? We're in the face off is, you know, the question that we ask. You know, we trying to make a person. You know, if you're not going to answer the question, you can tap out. Or okay, well, hey, that's what one person said.
About that life, you ain't about that tap out life.
Yeah, we almost had 2 people. We got 1 tap. We almost had a second person.
Yeah, we got a couple tap outs. We got a couple tappers, but I'm pretty sure we ain't gonna get no tap on this one. Yeah,
well, we're gonna start off with this for you, George Byrd, since you know one of the dynamic stoppers. What's the difference, or what's your opinion between these 2 guys, Gage Smith or Kevin Cassidy, and why? Which one? Which one? You know,
did you choose?
Who would you choose? Yes.
Which one would I go with? And see, I'm going with Kevin.
Why?
I'm sorry. I'm going with Kevin. Kevin didn't care about his body. I'm telling you, he did not care. His job was to stop you at any means. I'm not saying Gage wasn't like that, but Kevin was dedicated to it. Kevin woke up to do it. Gage had to get there after some games. And plus, Gage, and a slight edge. And you know what? No, I'm sticking with Kevin, yeah. Kevin
Gage didn't care neither.
Kevin Cassidy was a beast.
Yeah.
Gage is also 6'6".
He's way bigger than what you would think he is.
Do you imagine Kevin Cassidy at 6'6"?
Because also Kevin Cassidy was a stunt man.
Exactly.
So yeah.
He already had that pedigree, just being reckless with his body. But shout out to Kevin Cassidy.
Yeah,
he didn't care at all. He definitely was right in front of the rim. You're gonna see him face to face every single time. And no discredit to Gage Smith. You know, we got a lot more to see from Gage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen some really good times where.
Yeah, I love Gage. Gage has the first 360 block I've seen.
Yeah.
So I love you. And he has offense too. That would probably be the only thing. If I was the big Gage, it's because his offense would overshadow Kevin's defense.
Okay.
Kevin,
there you go. Okay. I got another one for you.
Cassidy got one. He got one from slam zone to slam zone 3-pointer. That's the only time he scored. he 100% for scoring though. For sure.
Exactly. So, all right. We're gonna go to the handlers from old to new. Tony Crosby II, or Memphis Robinson.
I'm going with Tony. By far.
Ain't no talking about that.
Memphis tried his hardest to dunk on me. And I was like, dude, you're too short. You're not going to dunk on me. I don't care how high you jump. Now, Tony can jump high too, but if both of them were coming against me, neither one of them dunking. But as far as them head to head, I'm going with Tony. Yeah. Tony by far. Because Tony jumps higher and gets up higher on him. He understood the spring bed. You know what I'm saying? He understood it. Memphis wasn't there with it as far as understanding. Yeah, he'll get up, but no. Tony, I'm going with Tony. I don't even know why y'all put that in there right there. Y'all know I was going with Tony.
All right, let me. I'm gonna do another.
But Tony, how many you dunk on me though?
All right, I got one more for you. Dante Berg, or your youngest one.
Deontay Byrd or Donovan Berg?
Give me tap out. I have inside knowledge on this that I can't give. I can't give this inside knowledge, and this is gonna be forever written out. But I'm going with the youngest. Go with the youngest.
You gonna have a fight with your... Okay.
Why?
Here's the why. Here's the why.
Okay.
Hey, here's the why. Here's the why. The youngest jumps higher and is faster. I watched them on. See, they don't know when I'm watching them. I'm watching both of them on the trains. When I got a chance to see the youngest takes off from a further distance than the oldest. Now, what they're doing now at the trampoline, they're catching up, and they're catching up with each other because I watched what they do. So maybe if we come back to this after this next series, it might get to the oldest because he's doing better things. But I also know the inside on my oldest that I would never tell nobody. That's between the Byrd family. And that's the reason why I picked the youngest. And, you know, I'll probably have to hear about it because
you have to deal with
I'll hear about it. And they'll probably, the oldest is probably going to be upset with me. I'll give him a little bit of money and he'll be all right. But he's probably going to go back to, well, the youngest ain't got no ring, you know, he ain't got no championship. I know them both. But you asked me my honest opinion, and I got to go with my honest opinion. It's going to be my youngest because of what I've seen from him. Even though he was hurt, I seen what he was doing on the trams. He's a little bit skinnier. You know, Dante's a stopper. Donovan is a gunner. And it's two different positions. Now, if you told me who would win in a face-off if they both had to go against each other, I think it'll be equal. They'll either block each other or they're going to dunk on each other. It's not going to be one going to dunk on the other one and the other one going to block it. It's going to be equal. That's how similar they are to each other. It's just that one is a little bit more faster and another and can jump higher. And y'all know the higher you can jump into a spring bed, the higher you can get. And the faster you go there. So that's all it is. But like I said, I got the inner circle of why I really got that pick on there. Like I might give it to y'all in person. Why?
All right, yeah, we're gonna keep that one confidential, man. But yeah, shout out to
the
Birds on that one. Yeah, I know that's a tough question.
Yeah. Can't give you everything. Hey, y'all already leaked my hit story, you know. So God damn, hey, I'm just killing me right now. I can't give everything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go to another one. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what type of player would you draft first? A system player with not so talent,
a stopper,
or a talented player that can't remember plays?
System player. Remember, I talk about IQs. You got to have a high IQ. If I tell you to go to the right to left and you be going from left to right because you ain't got no clue, no, I can't deal with you. I got to go with the system player. That system player has a high IQ. It's all about IQ with me. The higher your IQ, the better you are of getting coached and the better you are of keeping everything in.
Yeah, and now that we know what you do to people that don't go by the system, I'm pretty sure anybody that you coach or that you coach from now on would know. Stick with the system, or we're gonna put a hit out on your ass.
No, well, see, that's the thing. If I'm coaching, I am the hit man. So now you just gotta stand there while I come at you full speed. Now, do you understand the system I'm trying to put in? It's either a yes sir or no sir. All right, yes sir. Then come on, let's go ahead and get the system right.
I want to see George Byrd as a coach.
Remember,
for sure. Now I'm anticipating that. That would be dope. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right.
Hey, like I said, I would love to coach.
You would love to coach, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I would love to coach. It would be a different coach.
Well, speaking of coaches,
like I said, and I would get. Hey, listen. Don't think I'm just gonna come in and coach and not learn. I'm gonna be like, hey man, what you did for this player right here? What he did this right here? I'm gonna get things from y'all. Cause like I would be a sponge too, but I also got my core of what I want to. So you always gotta have that.
Speaking of coaches,
And Rob, if you heard that, just reach out to Big Bird, man. Let's see what that looked like, Rob. If you, I'm interested in seeing that.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
go ahead, Inch, my bad.
All right, so speaking of coaches, who would you pick out of coaches, as far as Xavier McDaniels or Coach Kenny Anderson, and why?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why?
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Y'all remember, any coach that's ready to come on the court and fight a player is a coach you want on your team. Because he was about to kill somebody on the bounce.
He came on the floor ready.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So who will be your favorite SLAMBALL teammate and why?
Now that's a good one. But I have to go with Champ. Champ taught me. I listened to Champ. Every word Champ was on my first year, I listened to. And I have nothing against Joe Coker, nothing against Beaver, Calvin. Love them as I loved all my players, but the one player that I will always want to play with, and it's kind of funny because the Series 3, I told him I wanted to go back in the draft. But if I had it all over to do again, and me and my kids were talking about it, I should have stayed with our core. And never know what would have happened. But that's just me I was being young, but definitely Champ. Me and Champ, he calls me Little Big Bro, and I call him Big Bro. That's how much me and Champ, talked about everything. We talked a lot. He taught me a lot. That was my mentor in SLAMBALL to become the stopper I am today.
Okay.
Of the world back then.
All right, so who would be your top 8 old SLAMBALL players? Your top 8.
All old school guys. Old school SLAMBALL. Top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, we gonna ruffle some feathers right here, boy.
Oh no, we ain't rolling no feathers. Listen. I got to put Jelani, Shakes. Or you want me to go top? You want me to give you the
your order? Just give your 8. Just your 8.
Just your 8.
Okay. So Jelani, Shakes, Hook, Dion, Kevin Cassidy, George Byrd, and y'all finna get mad at me, Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson.
That's 7. One more.
We got one more.
Oh, Inches. My bad. I can't count Inches. I just want to see if he was counting.
I'm not mad at that Chris Robinson part. I'm not mad at that Chris Robinson part at all. People, if you go back and you watch any film with Chris Robinson from Series 1 all the way on, that dude was absolutely tearing it apart on offense and defense. Careless with his body. He wasn't doing anything out of character, but he was always trying to win a game. He's that person that you want on the side on your team with you all the time for sure.
And just for shits and giggles, honorable mention would be Take Flight, and I gotta put Calvin on there.
DP.
That'll be an honorable mention. That'd be like if we took this 8 somewhere and we needed 2 subs. There you go. Because you got 3 stoppers already that I got in my top 8. 4 stoppers with Dion there, but Dion going the way Dion was playing.
There you go. So. There we got it, man. There it is. We got George Byrd, top 8 of the old school players. If you think you was left out, if you felt like you should have been in a different order or whatever it is, man, talk it up. Say what you got to say. Man, we got a lot of information from George on his take on the stopper position. how he got into the game. Some big plays that happened for Slam Ball, man. It's a lot going on in this little bit of time that we had. George, if there was anything that you can say to the returning guys coming into Series 7 and the new guys coming to try out, what would you tell these people?
Find a trampoline park. Find one. Get used to jumping on a trampoline. Get your cardio up, and you know, with my kids, I'm trying to get them to bulk up now. You know, you want to have some mass on you. Not a lot of mass. Can't be like me, but you want to have some mass on you. But definitely hit a trampoline park. If you can't hit a trampoline park, if your city doesn't have one, buy you one. I don't care. And even if it's a little 8-foot round one, buy you one and start bouncing on it. Start getting up in the air and falling, because it's going to happen. And it takes away any fear you have once you get to a slam ball trial, because now you're comfortable, and plus you're opening up the muscles that's never used like that.
People don't understand, like, get familiar with feeling that when you just lay down on that spring and just start feeling it a little bit. Like, move around on it, get it used to, put your face on it a little bit. Seriously, because it's gonna happen. You're gonna fall on that thing in an uncomfortable position, and you're gonna have to know how to turn your body around and pop back up the right way. Get familiar with your landing, and then you can elevate yourself on your talent level and how high you're gonna get. So that's really good information from him. Inches, what you got, man? Let's bring us out. You're on mute, Inch.
All right, now I'm back in the building.
Can't hear you.
Man. I just want to say, man, thanks for everything, man, George, what you doing for the help out with Slam Ball. Man, you're an awesome guy. You're a wonderful guy, man. We love you. We love your sons, man, and I'm proud of your sons, you know, for being a part of the new generation of Slam Ball. What would be your predictions for to the new guys in Slam Ball for season 7?
Just play your heart out. Predictions, play your heart out. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to being around more than I was only there for opening week. I'm gonna be there a little bit more this year. I might be there from start to finish. And that's my goal. And that's my goal.
Right.
To be there from start.
I hope that you're there coaching. So I want to see what that look like. And Series 7 is right around the corner. So if anybody's watching, everybody that's paying attention and supporting this podcast, be looking out. Slam Ball 2024 this summer coming up. I'm not sure the city yet, but continue to watch. We'll be releasing more information on where it's going to be at, where you can get a live game at, how you can be more involved, and how you can learn more about how to follow these guys that we're talking about throughout the season. So that's on the way, man. And Berg, we thank you, man. I appreciate you spending the time with us.
Well, hey, Shank, one last thing. Inches, BYRDS.
Hey, we got the BYRDS in the building. Oh, there he is right there. There we go.
Hey, I should have came up and now I probably my oldest son probably don't want to deal with me right now.
Look at it.
Later. I love my
we got the family here.
we got to really go.
Hey,
I'm go in. I'll put it up. Hey, love PA, man. Love y'all having me on here, man. Love sharing this with my boys. Love y'all. Man, hey, if you ever need me for another podcast, I'm here. If anybody want to come back, John Thomas, Jamal Barnes Sr, and talk about it, we can. Ain't nothing but love. But hey, that's my thought.
Yes, sir. Hey, fam, SLAMBALL family, what y'all got?
Hey, I just want to say,
What's up, man?
I just want to say, out there to everybody, man, stay tuned for season 7 of SLAMBALL. I'm going out with Exodus 14:14. God shall fight for you. God shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. So keep that in mind, guys. Always let God fight for you, everything that you have, and you just hold your peace. He'll take everything for you. And to my boys here and me, stay, take the game up. Guys, be safe out there. Stay tuned for another
Bird family.
episode. Game up.
Let's go. It's another good one. I appreciate y'all, man. Hey. Show him that ring, Bird. Show him that ring. Where that ring at, Bird? Did you see the ring? Put the ring up there.
Put the ring up. All right, fellas.
That's what he said. I put it up. That's what he said. I put it up. He can't get it on his side. He can't get it on his side. Make him get one.
All right, guys.
Make him get one.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all.
Appreciate you guys. Love you guys, man.
All right, now.
Yes, sir. We out. We out.
Love y'all, man.
Love y'all.